Please fucking hell. Good evening, everyone. I don't think the game was here yet, but I'll just bring this up here. Good evening. So we have a pretty short one today. Madchine, because he went through the winners bracket, only has 4 games to show, so this will be a pretty short stream. Yeah, give a couple minutes for people to get in here, and then we'll get started. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. Mine was solid. I enjoyed the stream this morning. See you. I'm back for this one. Yep. You always give like one more May and then we'll get started. I don't know why it keeps why I just type in like DDDC or whatever, it goes to endless is really annoying. Why I just type in DDT content is really annoying, but whatever. At least I caught it this time. Yep, let's get into it. So yes, like the producers will start out by analyzing Madchine's top cut draft. The first thing to notice is pretty much a 6-mon team. I mean, Metagross, Flygon, Room Appliance, Tentacruel, Aerodactyl, Umbreon. Roselia can come to games. Probably won't, but like it can if you want to see spikes or toxic spikes up. And Shedinja is not coming to games. Like, there's no way. I think this mon can cheese in pools. I don't think it's ever going to work in top cut. Yes, I don't think it's that effective of a pick, but I mean, for 1 point, who cares? So he has pretty much a top 16. Metagross, Flygon is a tried and true core. Round 3 Room Appliance is very nice. Arrow gives really good speed. You got good hazard control. 2 good rockers, a good spinner, and Umbreon helps keep stuff like Room Appliance and Metagross healthy, which it fits really well on this team too. Yeah, there's not like too much crazy about this team. It's just 6 really good mons, and then Roselia, which can maybe come, and Shedinja, which isn't. Pretty simple, it looks very effective, and obviously you made it to Grand Final, so it's proven very effective. So let's get into our first matchup. For top 16, the Madchine faced off against DDT1 champion and DDT2 top 8 finisher Nintago Foxo. So Tago's definitely the favorite for this one because he's done so well on top cuts in the past. So let's get into the matchup itself. So on Tago's side, we see Starmie, Scissor, Roserade, Gliscor, Rotom base form, Regirock, Arcanine, and Raticate. It's a kind of fight we see the 2 Rotoms and the 2 Roses fighting off. Very funny. Looking at the matchup itself, Metagross is a very solid matchup here. Rotom is kind of annoying, but other than that, you can quick binds pretty easily. Yes, Arcanine, but Arcanine's really pressured by a combination of Flygon and Aerodactyl. Starmie on Tago's side always looks decent, but Umbreon is a pretty solid wall into it. Starmie can't really break that down. Although it can go out to something like Scissor to take huge advantage of that. And Scissor can set SD up on a lot of this team, which is quite scary. I mean, Umbreon does have foul play in this gen, even if Scissor will resist it. So game best Steel Scissor is a huge threat to Madchine's team for sure. Madchine will probably have to pack faster fire coverage or a fast Rotom with Will to catch that. Yeah, Scissor's very, very scary here. Gliscor is looking kind of annoying for Madchine to break if his Rotom is not specifically Frost. Wash can deal with it, but it doesn't, it's not the easiest thing in the world. And then you can't really do much to Roserade. Luckily, Tentacruel is a really good way to punish Roserade for getting hazards because you can spin on it pretty much infinitely. Obviously, you have to worry about powders, but other than that, it's not a big deal. And Tentacruel it's not the best spin marker into Rotom, but Surf does good damage, so it'll, long term, it should be able to spin. No, not much else to say here, really. Flygon looking pretty solid into Dragon Resist Scissor, of course. I think Special makes a lot of sense with Draco Meteor Flamethrower. I think Physical Flygon makes a lot of sense into stuff like Rotom and Regirock and Gliscor Intimidate Arcanine, so it's almost definitely going to be special here, but Special Final looks very, very good in this matchup, to be fair. And also means everything other than Starmie, so it doesn't even necessarily need a Scarf. You can just run like Life Orb, like Draco or Power Flamethrower, a U-turn if you want, or something like along those lines. I think I do have to lean Madchine on this matchup. I just think Pokemon like Flygon are so strong, Roam looks very, very good, and stuff like Umbreon looks really frustrating for Taco to break down. That said, let's get into the game. Let me needs to refresh again. Okay, that's fine. We have Madchine on the left and Tago on the right. We see a Metagross lead into Regirock, so we get Rocks up. As Regirock is going to paralyze the Metagross with Thunder Wave. It's going to Grass Knot for 63 on the Regirock as Regirock gets up its own rocks. So in comes the Rotom. As Madchine goes out to his own Rotom, he is Rotom Heat, so that means this thing is specifically spec'd for Scissor. Which makes sense. He does have a like okay response. He actually doesn't have the best responses to Gliscor, but Gliscor can't really touch you anyway. Doesn't really matter. But the Racket's gonna come in, but we double to Umbreon, so we aren't getting Pursuit trapped here. Racket is gonna go out to Roserade as Umbreon's just gonna Heal Bell, getting that power off of Metagross. You have a Spike, so 2 hazards on Madchine's side now, but we're gonna get Tentacruel obviously wanting to spin. In comes the Rotom, that's the spin blocker, of course. But we're going to knock it off. Okay. Minimal damage, but game of those lefties means Rotom is going to get chipped, especially if it isn't packing Pain Split. We go out to Umbreon, takes 25 and then a tiny bit from this Thunderbolt. That's a especially defensive Umbreon if I've ever seen it. With Pursuit, and that Rotom is now super, super low. The Scissor is going to come in, but Rotom only has one more switch in. Going out to Rotom Heat, taking our 12%. Scissors is going to U-turn for 29. That might be banded. I think that is banded based on that. That's probably a bulkier Rotom. In comes the Raki. It's good Pursuit. And it is successfully going to trap the Rotom. So the Rotom's down, putting Scissor in an amazing position. Aerodactyl is going to come in. And switch to Regirock, who's going to Aqua Tail and take that out. Crit may have mattered, but you can just click it again the next turn. Starmie is going to go in here, which Telegraphs is probably Scarf. So we're just going to surf into Umbreon doing 31. Even with a Protect for lefties, it wouldn't get out of range. So he's just going to let the Umbreon go down. And we're going to see Aerodactyl come in here. It's going to crunch. So that means the Aerodactyl is probably also Scarf. Wow. So Starmie's going to go down. Interesting to see a Scarf Aerodactyl. If I use Quick and Crunch again, definitely means it's Scarf. And that is the most banned Scissor of all time. That Pursuit did 48 on a neutral hit weight. It stayed in. Anyway, Pursuit is going to take out the Aerodactyl. In comes Tentacruel. Going to use this opportunity to finally spin, probably. Yeah, Roserade's going to come in to take advantage of it. But it's actually going to HP Fire and get a big crit. Oh, wow. Roserade's in range of another one now. That's really big for Madchine. Madchine's timer is getting really well, though. He only has about 3 seconds per turn. Raticate is going to come in, just quick return, and take out the Tentacruel. Man, these hazards are staying up. Metagross comes out. Raticate is going to return, but it's going to do virtually nothing. Metagross is going to Psychic, so it's full special. Wow. Full special here, not really mixed. In comes the Roam, but the Roam's only on 7%. However, it can Pain Split back up to 45. That's huge. But it's going down to a Psychic, and Scissor has to try and finish this out. Versus Madchine's Metagross in his last Pokemon. Just go ahead, Bullet Punch, presumably expecting something in the back, but HP Fire is going to come out and finish off the game. And Madchine is going to take home a nice 2-0 win. Pretty solid game. Honestly, the crit on Roserade helped, but Big Tog was still in a decent position regardless. I mean, I'm talking. I think Madchine's in a decent position regardless. Full special Metagross was cool. I did kind of call special Flygon. I assume that was the last Pokemon. But I wasn't really thinking special Metagross here, but it makes a lot of sense again. Like, in the same reasons into stuff like Rotom and Regirock and fucking Arcanine. And Gliscor, so yeah. Very cool tech there. Pursuit Umbreon, not something we see a lot, but it definitely did work here. Yeah. Scarf Arrow was interesting. I'm kind of surprised he brought that, but if he was expecting Scarf Starmie, which he very well might have, that's probably why. And on Tago's side, we did see the Raticate do stuff, which is cool. It's not a Pokemon you see do things very often. And Banded Scissor doing so much damage was nice too, but it wasn't enough in the end. And Madchine is going to advance to the next round of Winners Bracket to top 8. Okay, let's get into our next game. So round 2, we are in top 8 now. Game 2. In round 2, Madchine is up against Butterchoke. And Butterchoke's team consists of Heatran, Suicune, Jolteon, Cresselia, Hariyama, another Rotom, so 2 base Rotoms in a row, kind of funny. Kabutops, and Fearow. So this is, once again, we see the Rotom, which is is not like the best of the Madchine. It is a spin blocker, but again, we can wear it down pretty well with a lot of this team. Flygon, once again, looks pretty solid with like a mix set. Like Draco, or actually Outrage looks really good. Bandit Outrage kind of fucks this team, actually. Like, just needs a bit of chip on Suicune and Crest, and then they'll probably be into a KO range. And, like, he outspeeds everything other than Jolteon, so if you can just take down the Jolteon, it can do a ton of damage. Rotom Appliance also looking really tough for Butterchoke to break down. It's going to be important for stuff like Suicune and probably for Crest. Suicune is very, very scary, though. There's not a ton for it. Madchine can maybe around, like, Haze Tentacruel would be a pretty good answer. Or, I don't remember if Umbreon gets Roaring this year. I don't think it does, but it might. But Suicune's looking very scary. I could see, like, a Roselia coming, like, some sort of more offensive Roselia, maybe, to try and prevent it from getting too many Calm Winds up, or, like, a physical set with C-Bomb I could see. I've run that kind of stuff before in the past. Well, usually it's, like, Poison Jab for, like, Raikou, but same idea. Jolteon's looking pretty scary, so that's another reason Roselia might come. Hariyama is interesting, but it can't really touch Rotom that well. It kind of needs to be in Trick Room and give a payback. That's easier said than done. Kabutops is pretty branding. The water resists are both pretty frail physically, so Stone Edge plus that could do a lot of work if it gets in the rain. But you may notice that all these things are saying Butterchoke has to get in the right positions to at least set up. I think Madchine has a much better immediate presence. Stuff like Metagross, Flygon, even Rotom are all huge offensive threats here. And Aerodactyl to an extent too, with the Rockers just being Hariyama. So yeah, Madchine's immediate offense I think gives him an edge here over Butterchoke's more setup-based team. And we're going to have to see if Butterchoke can pull it out. But yeah, Madchine's immediate offense I think gives him the edge here. Let's get into the game. Madchine on the left and Butterchoke on the right. Flygon lead into Heatran. He's just going to protect on the Earthquake, so now he knows it's coming. Crest going to come in, but we reveal not to be choice and we're going to crunch, but only does 30. Another U-turn to a 24, so Crest is down to just 46 now. It's probably a Moonlight. No, it's a screen set, as we've seen before from Butterchoke. Hey, K12. Welcome. Are you, I assume that's you, Madchine, because it's also in your username on here. Let me go back. So, welcome to streaming your own games, I guess. So, you see the Hariyama coming, it's going to get Toxic Orbed. But it's just going to go down to Zen Headbutt, no Reflect Up. We're going to get the Reflect Up with Crest, but then he's going to get up Rocks here. Very good play from Madchine, basically. And Safeguard on the Crest. What? Well, we're going to screech it anyway. So that's pretty good. Forces it out. I'm surprised the Safeguard. I'm really curious what that specific interaction that was for is. Hey, we're going to get in the Suicune. That's where we're going to quick Spike. Suicune is going to sub. We're going to Grass Knot. No, that breaks the sub because Light Screen is gone. So that works too. I was predicting maybe a Seed Bomb, but Grass Knot's pretty effective as well. Go to 33 after the Calm Mind. So if it gets an Better Calm Mind, it can maybe start subbing, but it's not in a great position. And Heatran is going to come in. We're just going to Grass Knot for a tiny bit of chip. Get a crit, so that's an extra 10% or so. Might come up. And we're going to go out to Flygon here. So as we get up the rocks on Butterchoke's side. Flygon's just going to Earthquake. Might as well you friend Heatran really well. And you just U-turn out for another quarter on Crest. Get it kind of low again. Crest is going to go for effect here. We're going to presumably spin, I assume. No, it's fucking SD Tentacruel. Okay, I mean, it's good that he has the Reflect Up, but Waterfall's just going to clean take that out. I do remember, yeah, there was stuff that happened, like, in Butterchoke's country. It was a problem, so he wasn't able to prep fully for his game, which I feel kind of bad about, but the show must go on, sadly, baby. Tentacruel is going to KO the Jolteon, and a crit Rock Slide from Kabutops is going to take it out. That might not have needed it, because I don't know the Tentacruel bulk, but Waterfall's going to come out. Earthquake is not going to KO through a Reflect, but then it should have just died to the Life Orb. Let's see what comes in. And Butterchoke's going to forfeit there. You can't win with just these two into Rotom. So yeah, I mean, the only amount left that can do damage is Suicune is too low to take on Roselia. So yeah, go win by Madchine here. As like I mentioned, the immediate offensive stuff like Metagross and Flygon did a lot of work. Screech was a really cool tech. I haven't seen that very often. I've run stuff like Screech on Mods before. I've never seen a Flygon, though. That's an interesting way to get around stuff like Suicune and a Crest. I really like that. It's a really, really smart brig. People, if they remember my pools games from like a couple months ago, I brought Fake Tears on Jolteon a couple times. It's kind of the same concept where a Fat Mon comes in on you, you can lower his defense, force out, you can get hit on something else. SD Tactical is really fun. I do like that set a lot. I ran it recently in a Wi-Fi League week 1, and I only lost because it lost the speed tie to a Flygon, funnily enough. I only lost because it lost the speed tie, but it's a cool set. Yeah, obviously nothing too crazy on Barjoke's side. Mono support Crest interesting. I don't really get the safeguard. I don't know what specifically it was for, but I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's to protect Suicune from like Toxic, but you have sub. I don't get it. Or that the prep scene fine. But yeah, Madchine's going to move on to top 4. We're steamrolling through this. I guess there's only 4 games, so that's to be expected. Let's get into our third game here, top 4. In top 4, Madchine is going to face off against Nate Dogg here in semifinals of the winner's bracket. So essentially, I guess quarterfinals of the whole tournament if you really think about it, but in some ways. Nate Dogg is running Infernape, Gengar, Bronzong, Gyarados, Donphan, the very hyped up Honchkrow, Regice, and Grumpig. So let's take a look at this. Infernape is pretty strong as always. Fire moves pretty spam with his team as it's fighting. Like, yes, there's the Rotom, but Flare Blitz is just, God, Flare Blitz just quick that, and things do not enjoy taking it. These Flygon Arrow aren't particularly bulky. I could see a bulkier like Roost, Arrow, or Flygon coming as a nape check. Especially Arrow, you can run like me enough bulk and to like still outspeed it and Fizz Def to like try and take it on. I can see that being a viable bring here. Gengar is interesting, but we do have Umbreon, which kind of shits on it, as does Tentacruel. The Honchkrow is pretty scary. I will say the flying resists aren't the best. You have like Metagross does not enjoy Heat Wave, and Aerodactyl, which is again pretty frail. Donphan is not a great spare into Roll and Wash though, so getting hazards up from Madchine's side could be a big help. Whereas Tentacruel is a decent spare into Gengar because of its raw offensive output moves like Surf, meaning it can spin on eventually. Gengar can't really deal with Tentacruel that effectively because Tentacruel's naturally high special defense stat. Flygon looks really good here as well. Dragon's pretty spammable outside specifically the Bronzong, and Bronzong is going to get worn down by having to check Metagross and potentially offensive Arrow. Gyarados is very scary though. The Water Resists are Roselia and Tentacruel is like we talked about with Kabutops in the previous game. Physical water types are a huge threat to Madchine's team, and Gyarados is no different. I fully expect some sort of Scarfer among Arrow, Flygon, Rotom, or Tentacruel to try and check that. These three would have electric coverage. Rotom obviously have electric stab. Personally, I would go Rotom with it because Rotom's most likely to kill through a Wakan after rocks, but any of those 4 are viable as a Scarfer. Check it. But you can also probably run Shuckaberry like Fizz Def Tentacruel, which makes sense in Gyarados matchup. Because Shuckaberry also insulates you against Earthquake and Infernape, which is pretty likely to come as the Tentacruel mid-ground quick. So I think that's a pretty obvious set here. Honestly, I think I do kind of want to wean Nate Dogg in this matchup. I think Infernape is just so damn frightening that it gives him a huge edge. Let's get into it. Madchine on the left, Nate Dogg on the right. We're going to see Rotom Wash lead into Infernape. First, get U-Turn to turn 1, doing 8. That probably reveals it's not a boosting item based on damage. Hydro Pump's going to come off, do 26 to Bronzong. It reveals it's not, reveals that it's not leftovers, but it is Calm Mind. Okay. We're just going to Will-O-Wisp, get some chip on this. It's going to Psychic break the sub. And you have 12% means he has Levitate instead of Heat Proof. That makes sense. Unrest is coming on Psychic, take nothing. We're going to taunt the Bronzong. So it can't rest now. Now his Bronzong's pretty much shut down completely. In comes the Donphan. We're just going to Wish with the Umbreon. Quick taunt so Donphan can't rocks. Yep. Wish again. Take 47. That's a pretty offensive Donphan for sure. Gyarados comes in, presumably expecting to switch. But we're just going to Protect instead. Now, Gyarados is an opportunity to maybe try and Dragon Dance. It's going to taunt itself. Okay, but Arrow comes in, which does kind of stuff it, and double into Rotom, expecting Donphan. Very good play on Madchine's. Then Hydro can come off, do a massive 80%. Nate is going to use the opportunity to get his rocks up, though, now, which should help against Aerodactyl. We're going to have a sub with Rotom. The Toxic missing a matter because of that sub. Ice Shard is not going to break the sub, and Hydro Pump will take down the Donphan here. Bronzong is going to come in. We're going to Thunderbolt, almost KO, doesn't finish it off. And is able to get the rest off here, but unless it's Sleep Talk, I think we're in a decent position. He's going to switch out to Gengar here on the Thunderbolt to 52. I mean, Gengar goes down to another one after breaking the sub. Not a great position for Nate. Yeah, we just so Gengar goes down here for pretty much no gain for Nate there. Honchkrow comes in. It's going to Night Slash, and it's only going to do 57. No Super Luck crit, and Thunderbolt will just take out Honchkrow. I did mention that previous Ronan looked very good, and here it is. Invert's going to come in. It's just going to click a fire move, obviously, and so you can just go out to Flygon pretty safely. That's a bulkier Flygon. It might be just Scarf and Furry, but not doing that much. But I feel like it's a bulkier Flygon. You fire up a Thunder Punch on the switch, catch the Gyarados with the Wacom, but now it's in range of another one. I mean, Madchine just played this game masterfully. He's kind of being in control every turn. Thunder Punch is going to crit the Bronzong. Sorry to hear that Nate was sick. That happens, though. Again, the show must go on. Gonna go for a taunt here. Taking out the Infernape. Taking the Infernape. Catching the Infernape, which doesn't really matter. Now we know it's locked into U-turn, though, and we can switch out to something like Rotom to catch that. And Nate's forced to bring in something that doesn't really check as well, such as the Gyarados, yeah. You just have to let the Gyarados go down, basically. But Gyarados is going to be faster in this room. It's going to Waterfall, but Room's just going to barely live with its bulk after all that Lefty's recovery. Invert's going to come in, Flare Blitz, take out the Rotom, but this game is over. This game is definitely over. Just bring in Tentacruel. We're going to switch out as we have a Toxic Spike. So now it really kind of screws over Invert. Invert's going to come in, get poisoned. We're just going to taunt again. So fine play by Nate, but again, it's 2-way. It's fruitless at this point. Just going to protect, see what he walks into. It's going to walk into close combat, so you just go into Tentacruel here. And there's not much you can really do at this point. Yeah, close combat's going to come out, but also with the top poison, wearing it down, it just limits how many turns it can stay in, and the forwards recovery also on top of that. In goes Bronzong. I don't really get the Scarf and Furry in this matchup also. I feel like it was so prime offensively, and outspent so much of the team already, that you really did not need a Scarf on it. I think you could have just, like, run, like, I don't know, some other item a little bit much better, but, maybe a setup set could have done work here, but yeah, Madchine's going to take home the win, very, very dominantly. 35 turns, but a 5-0, and realistically, Rome could have maybe been preserved, but there was no reason to preserve it at that point. Yeah, incredibly dominant by Madchine here. This was, like, not close. He just kind of played every turn correctly, being down everything with the Rotom, catching the Gyarados with Flygon. I mean, he just, like, had Nate's number the entire game, read him correctly the whole time, and that's just how it is sometimes. So Madchine is going to move on to winners finals. At this point, this means he is guaranteed in top 3, meaning he has got confirmed at least, I think, around $150. But winning this game will guarantee you at least $300 in a spot in Grand Finals, of course. So for the last game of this short stream today, we have Madchine in Winners Finals versus Aonfa. Aonfa running a very interesting team with 4 freaking rock types. Tyranitar, Gyarados, Lucario, Aerodactyl, Venusaur, Mesprit, Armaldo, and Golem. It's a very interesting, weird composition to see 4 rock types, but Aonfa has been making it work, and obviously he made its Grand Finals, the Winners Finals, so nothing to, like, shake a stick at. However, on that note, 4 rock types into Metagross Flygon is really fucking hard. I mean, Metagross kind of just shits on everything. Like, there's no real good way for Aonfa to deal with it. 2-hit KOs pretty much everything. Nothing can really 2-hit KO it back. Like, Metagross just looks insane here, and there's really not much Aonfa can do about it. I don't really see many ways at all. It's like multiple Scarfs and just sacking things to hit it, which is not a very good strategy. Flygon also looks pretty good. The Steel type is Lucario, so Dragon moves are pretty free. Outrage, just click Outrage, go Burr once things are chipped. Rotom is pretty solid, but you have to watch out for Pursuit from T-Chart. So you probably have to run Colberberry because it's almost definitely going to be a 1 for Willow. That's not the end of the world. I will say Lucario looks very, very scary here. E-Speed, Close Combat Crunch is pretty strong, or like a sort of like priority plus fighting move plus dark move is very good here. That's probably Ampha's best win con. And we do see the Arrow Mirror, and both sets have it as their fastest Pokemon, so that could very well be relevant. Tyranitar is a little scary, but like between like Scarf Flygon and like some sort of Umbreon, if he's not packing Superpower, and Metagross, he's probably be fine into it. Funny enough, this is a game where Shedinja definitely isn't going because there's sand. Yeah, I think if this is a matchup to Madchine, just like the Metagross and the Flygon are so strong here. let's get into this final game. Winners finals. Madchine on the left and Ampha on the right. Arrow lead into Mesper getting up rocks as Mesper's going to Zen Headbutt getting off crit off for 95%. Huge chance to go rock slide for a bit more chip as Mesper's going to go for a reflect. A lot of screens this from Madchine's opponents I've noticed. You'll get a U-turn with Mesper into Venusaur, but and with the reflect up, he obviously can't stay in, so it's going to sleep powder. Flying Guy's going to go sleep here, just going to try and burn a sleep turn. But it's packing Sleep Talk, calling that correctly, getting off an Earthquake for 30%, but this Venusaur now got up with SD, which is very scary. Sacking the virtually dead arrow to a power whip, of course. Now we get in the Roam Heat, though we frame out with Overheat, but it's just going to stay in, so it's going to go down. So Venusaur did a lot of work, but he is down now, which was a big, important piece. Territory is going to come in, Roam's going to reflect as a way around it. Territory's good, DD. Now we can go out to Magros and yeah, Earthquake, Free Reflect, and the Shock Barrier only going to 22. We'll have already made a roll to 2 KO, otherwise we're going to quick it again and do 42, but Magros just kill us with Brick Break. Yep. Not having to worry about me or match missing, just click the Brick Break. In comes the Lucario. We're going to switch out to Rotom, of course, and eat the close combat like it's nothing, because it is nothing. And the Mesper is going to come in. Rotom's just going to Overheat, getting off good chip on that. 36 is not bad damage. Especially after the sand. Yeah. Out to Magros is best to U-turn again. Presumably getting in something like Arrow. But Magros can pack Bullet Punch in this matchup very easily. And it does. And Arrow's now super low. Can't come in again on rocks, yeah. I mean, into quad rock types, of course you're going to pack Bullet Punch, right? Arrow's going to taunt, but Amir's going to take it out of a payback. So that's pretty good. A lot of big threats down. In comes the Gyarados. This thing is very scared, but we can't go out to Tentacruel. It's probably Shuckaberry HP Electric if I had to guess. Gyarados is going to have a Dragon Dance. Just got Earthquake. Yeah, it's Shuckaberry. I mean, it has to be in this matchup, right? HP Electric. And the Gyarados is with Conberry, so it will only take 28 there. That's actually pretty dangerous for Madchine here. Tentacruel is going to go down. He'll need... Madchine's going to need to survive this onslaught, but Sand is helping a bit. A flinch on the Umbreon is going to get really low. Yeah, especially if it flinches again. It's going to get a second flinch here. Yep. And so that Umbreon's super low. He has to protect the stall for sand turns, basically. But no. Oh, he's not riding protect. Okay, so it just goes down. But this Gyarados is down, though. However, Flygon is going to wake up and just outrage, so it does wake up there. And in comes the Lucario. Is going to take that outrage. It's going to SD here. Got E-Speed, but he's not going to KO me. We just get to heal on our outrage. And it's going to survive, get the same roll as before, but it's going to die to its life form now. It's just going to Bullet Punch in case the Rotom came and get off a bit of chip. But yeah, now it's just a Rotom and Mesprit. And Rotom's just going to win here because Mesprit can't KO it, even if Mesprit outsped, yeah. You know, with that, Madchine is going to take the win. Madchine's going to take home the 1-0 win, making it to Grand Finals off of 4 really well-played games. I think his prep and play have been really solid all these games. I've been really impressed by Madchine's prep all tournament, I'll be honest. I think he's had some of the most interesting and creative prep this tournament and been very effective at using it. The Brick Break of Metagross calling screens was very good, and also for T-Char not risking like a Meteor Mash. We see Sleep Talk Fly. I like that a lot here because he knew Venusaur was going to be a problem. Reflect Rotom is a very unique way to get around T-Char, especially if you expect to be one, which based on the fact we didn't see an item, I think it probably was. And, pretty basic Tentacruel. I mean, it's what Tentacruel does into Gyarados matchup. But, yeah, cool SD set from Ampha. I like the SD Sleep Power a lot. But, yeah, and Ampha's setup spam just wasn't able to prevail. I mean, we have 2 Dragon Answers, 2 Swords Answers, but Madchine is going to take home the 1-0 win, moving into Grand Finals. So we will see him again on Sunday in the first game for that. But for now, tomorrow I will be back with Crashing Boom Bang's Top Cut games. This could be our longest of these 4 streams this week because he has 7 to go for Ruby's of Losers Bracket. So make sure you stay tuned for that. We'll be starting off tomorrow with CBB versus I try to remember who Kaffa's username is on the main dot. I can check. I think it's Food. So yeah, we'll have a CBB versus Food as our first game tomorrow. And I hope everyone enjoyed this really quick 30-minute stream, but we only have 4 games to go through. So have a good night, everyone.